Hi Yama, thank you so much for showing us your robotics schools. I can see a lot of kids enjoying what they are learning in your schools. Can you tell us more about what you are doing in your school?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we are Robotics and Coding Learning Center. Our center name is called IN3LABS. So we actually teach robotics and coding to students from the age of 5 all the way to 16 years old. And for us, actually, we focus on STEAM learning. So science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So those are very important skills that students need for technology for the futures, skill set for the future. So those are very, very important. And so we want to make sure that our students actually have the knowledge and the skills that they need for it. Yeah.
Okay. When you talk about the STEAM programs, is so whatever they learn in schools, like the science subjects, like the maths, like the physics in the form of engineering, yes, right? So those are all in theory based.
Correct.
So are you trying to say that your robotics school is the applied in that form?
There are a lot of applications in our training program. Because the thing is that in schools, mostly they are teaching about theory, right? So if you look at all the mathematics they're teaching in schools, mostly are theory. So if they want to understand more about theory into more deeper understanding about theory, then that's where the application coming in. So for the applications, they a lot of hands-on, right? So they have a lot of hands-on, meaning to say that the robotics that we use here have all the hands-on experience for them. So after they require all the skills that they have in schools, then after that, of course, all the theory that they learn in schools, then after that they can actually apply it here, understanding all the mathematics formulas and everything. So when you are learning robotics, you also have to learn about programming. So programming is about understanding all these mathematics formulas, and you put it into the code, and after that you have to make the robot to move. And straight away, you also will understand that if you put wrong formula, then your robot will not work, right? So your application part, the result is straight away, you can see the results, right?
Okay.
So that's why the application part is very important, especially for all the students. I think most of the students are lack of application experience, right?
Yeah. So I think robotics is good. It's like they can get a hands-on of what they learn in schools, huh?
Yes.
So about the robotics school, is it getting more popular among the parents?
No, it is definitely, because currently, technology is everywhere, and parents are very curious right now, because we are surrounded by all the technology equipments, right? The smartphones. You go to
artificial intelligence.
Yes, AI,
part of it?
Yes, definitely. So you go everywhere, there are technologies all around us. So therefore, parents wanted their children to not just play with the technologies, but also to understand how to use them. So that's where we came in to educate these kids that when they play games, or when they are playing YouTube, or they are playing with the mobile apps, all these things, we come in to educate them how do you actually make them. Alright, it's not just about now when the kids is playing games, they now understand how these games come about.
Okay.
When they are playing with the applications, they know exactly how these applications come about.
So your school is about empowering the kids to make things happen rather than just only to use them, right?
Yeah. So our school is like, we want the kids to make sure that they understand how things work, right? Not just about they play and that they just have fun out of it, but now they really understand, and they understand how things work. Then you will create a curiosity with them, and that curiosity actually will give them, excite them to learn more things, right? Because if the kids are not curious enough, if the kids are not having fun learning, then they will be so bored. Every things that they learn, they will just be like, they will get bored and they don't want to learn anymore. So it's very important for us, especially in our learning centers, that we make sure that kids have fun and they get really curious. We make them curious, and they get very excited in learning all these skill sets.
I see.
Yes.
So, can you tell us how long have you been doing these robotic programs in
Yeah.
Singapore?
So basically, I've been doing this for more than 9 years, yeah, or 10 years, I guess. Yeah. So and yeah, that's how long I've been doing this, and of course throughout our whole process, from the beginning, day one that we begin these learning centers, the day one that we actually started this concept, this business concept, we actually have changed quite a lot. So we don't just like because technology is keep on evolving, right? So
Yes.
even the things that they learn are also keep changing. So
Yes.
our software that they learn keep updating. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a next question that I want to ask you actually, because it's like why you choose robotic instead of other subjects? Because it's like
Right.
technology keep changing. You have to keep like the phone that we used last time 10 years ago. It's not a smartphone. A lot of phones still using keyboard based. Now we no longer see phone that is on a
Yes.
keyboard based, right?
Yes.
So things have changed.
Correct.
So do you need to like keep yourself updated, or how do you keep your program updated with the current technology?
Correct. So the first thing that you asked me, why do I teach robotics, is that because I really like the application part of it.
Okay.
We've been learning a lot of theories. We've been, looking at the books for the longest times, and after that, for me, it's very, very important that the kids have to get out from the classroom and start to experience all the real things in life, right? So robotics is part of it. They really can, hands-on. They build something. If they get it wrong, they get it wrong straight away on the spot. They get it wrong because the robot doesn't work. Okay, when the program get it wrong, the robot is not moving. So the result is very instant, right? So because of that, they create, like I mentioned, which is curiosity. Like, I do something, I get it wrong. So you get them a lot of excitement, and that's very important. So that's why I see that kind of excitement in robotics and coding, which I don't see a lot of other subjects that of course, theory subjects.
Can you share with us, Can you share with us what has your students built so far in terms of?
There are many things that they built. In fact, there are a lot of really interesting and very exciting things that they built. And one of the kids actually built, Flappy Bird. You know the game Flappy Bird?
Oh, Flappy Bird.
Yeah, correct.
Like the Angry Bird?
Is another one.
Another version, right?
Yeah, it's like a Flappy Bird, right? So, one of my students actually built the apps, the game apps. Flappy Bird, yeah. So, and of course, robot. My kids actually built it's like I can't even imagine like 8 years old or 9 years old kids can build such a very complicated robot. So it's kind of very interesting. So anyway, so there are many different kinds of projects like animations. They also do animations, or they play. They actually create games.
Animations.
Create game animations.
Yeah.
So yes, one of the kids actually recently built a Naruto animations using Scratch.
Using Scratch, okay.
Yeah, and it's the fighting part where
Right.
Naruto's characters are fighting using entirely on Scratch.
Oh, sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I myself is very impressed because he only came in about learning about few sessions, and then he managed to do quite very interesting kind of animations that is really very, very complicated. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. Yeah.
I think all parents will be very excited to hear about what the kids can learn, and they can build and become the next creator, right? But the thing is, does this program compatible or does it get a lot of support from the school mainstream curriculums? Because Singapore education is a bit taxing, kids do not have enough time to do their own free time. So, do you see that this is like a conflict of taken part of the free time of their free time?
I don't think so. I mean, the kids actually, when they have fun learning something, they always enjoy, and they want to keep learning.
Okay, let me rephrase.
Yeah.
let me rephrase my questions. Yeah, of course they have a joy in learning and stuff like that. But the thing is, will that be something that add on, or it will be something that enhance their learning in schools?
Correct.
Because when we talk about add on, a lot of parents are like, some of the parents are still prefer the mainstream of education, where they don't want to add a lot of more like enrichment classes to the kids.
Yeah.
What's your view on this?
Actually, not so true right now, because I think a lot of parents have opened up. They also start to send a lot of kids for many enrichment classes.
Do you get a lot of support from the schools?
Yeah, definitely we do. But to answer your question for the previous one, that you're saying that whether this program that we provide, whether it enhance the current programs that they're having in schools, I would say definitely. Because and it is really amazing, because after they learn robotics and they understand what they learn in school, what the theory that they learn in school, even better. And they understand better, and they can apply it, and they can answer the questions even better. So we have students that who actually not very good in maths, right, in school. Then after that they come to our program, and after that they started learning all the robotics and codings. And after that, his school actually, especially the maths, the grades actually went up. Yeah. So, and even the parents actually appreciate it because of the grade have changed for the better. So, and we are not also focusing on. We don't focus on making the kids to get better grade. Also, we are focusing more on making the kids actually love learning. And also. They understand what they are learning, and they can make their own decisions, when they are after they graduate, like they know what they want in life.
Yeah, right? That's very important. Yeah, because a lot of people are still lost.
Yeah,
even though when they are after secondary school, after junior college, they still do not know what they want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. True. I think this is a very important angle that all the parents and the kids can look forward to.
Definitely.
Yama, another thing is I think it's like the novelty of the learning robotic is sounds very, very interesting.
Yes.
But however, last time when I was small, when my parents asked me to go for robotic programs, I think sometimes it's a bit difficult, might be a bit technical. How do you overcome all this and make the kids, wanted to keep learning the program?
Yeah. So I mentioned about making the kids very curious, and, having them excited about learning. So how do we actually create those kind of elements for them, right? So to make sure that the kids are excited, of course we actually bring them to also competition program. So not just learning about robotics and codings in our center. So we also give them a lot of exposure, right? So exposure to look at others, what others are learning or doing. So we send them for different competitions. So we also have our own competition, of course, from participated by quite a lot of schools. So we want the children to get a kind of exposure so that they can learn from others too, and how it's about creativities, right? So you want to see how others are also creating their robots and their programs. So we start for competition. We also make sure that the children are also exposed to other. We let them have watch some videos that people have created.
Okay.
Different kind of robots. We actually show them the robots that created by some of the big companies, like for example Boston Dynamics. So those are some of the things that we show them. The amazing robot that created around the world, from China, from US, and so that they can really look at the videos and they're like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I want to do that kind of robots one day. Or I will show them some of the programs or the programming that like how amazing this robot can respond to the kids or the parents, or can respond to people.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah. So those are some of the things. Now of course we also approach with the soft skills. Soft skills is that we encourage kids to talk about what they have built and what they have programmed also. So we want them to explain, or we want them to present to their parents or present to teachers. So, and some of the kids, when they start explaining, they get really excited about
Wow.
it.
I think with all these programs and with these all programs and also all the supports that you're providing to your students,
Correct.
could we expect that your students would be creating the next robot that help our human life?
To change the world?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Every students that we have the opportunities and they have all the skill set that they need to achieve something bigger than themselves. So I believe that every students have a potential to achieve what they want to achieve and what they want to do. So whether you want to talk about a robot that can change the world,
Yeah.
or a robot that make a difference in people's life,
Yep.
I'm sure every students that we have can do it. It's just whether they want to or not, and we want to make sure that they really want to do something that bigger than themselves. Yeah.
Wow, definitely. I think it's a very mind-blowing experience to be able to hear directly from you about this robotics
Yeah.
school. So we expect more students to be able to become a creator.
Thank you so much, John.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I thought we don't have to